It's that very British thing of socks and arse out that just is very funny. I just find it very amusing. I always think it's funny.
We are the Holocaust.
Welcome to We Are the Holocaust.
Do you know what I found out today? This made me laugh out loud for about 17 seconds, which is slightly longer than anyone should laugh out loud at something. I was reading the Mortal Kombat X Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Because I was trying to explain to a customer what pre-order bonuses there were.
Okay.
And that they'd announced that you could play as Predator or Jason Voorhees as DLC.
We mentioned this
very
before,
exciting. So I was telling him about this. The very first thing that's on the Mortal Kombat X is Mortal Kombat X, open brackets, pronounced X. Of all the things in the world that I might have an issue with, saying the letter X isn't one of them. And I thought combat with a K is an issue, maybe, but X. And all I can imagine in my head is the guy who edited that Wikipedia page is fed up of people who've got an accent that make X sound like eggs.
And so the story begins. Silent, tender, successful fellas thought to themselves, we've made us a lot of money. We could be cashing, definitely. Then like a bunch of cynics, they decided to bin it in favour of touchscreens. Now their sales are all in the toilet. That's what we're going to talk about on the Holocaust. It's a load of us. Then we live in a flat, a very small flat with Bouncy. Watching Deal or No Deal and eating microwave meals with Bouncy. He leaves the door ajar when he takes bubble baths. His name's Bouncy. So you'll come to no harm unless you're a goose become. His name's Bouncy.
Hello everyone, welcome to We're the Holocaust, back in the game, episode 15. Nearly legal. Yeah. We can now watch
15 rated.
We can watch Children
Podcasts.
of Men. I'm just looking at some DVDs. We can watch Children of Men right now.
Good.
And be legal doing so. And Argo, that's a very good film.
Argo is a very good film.
So yeah, and The Wicker Man, we could watch all of those. You couldn't watch those last time.
No,
We could have done, but it would have been wrong.
it would have been wrong. It would have been a rubbish podcast, just us two watching Argo going, doesn't look Ben Affleck long? Oh no, it looks a bit old with a beard. No, I don't like it.
Do you know, I think we could make a good podcast if we record. I remember when Monday Movie Show, when they first started, there was a big thing they wanted me to go on with them and do a audio commentary podcast. So we'd all start the film at the same time and we'd then talk about trivia and what we thought about certain things, including the mise en scène, using my proper media terminology there. That's putting it into the scene, basically.
Well,
all the
yeah.
elements that the director and cinematographer can use.
Oh, maybe we should use that as a live episode in the future.
Maybe we should. Maybe
Watch
we
along
should.
with Bouncy and Rob.
And they could just be video game related movies.
Or Street Fighter.
We could suffer through it, and then everybody else would have to suffer through it while also suffering through us.
But there is that terrible Dead Rising film that's just come out.
Is it terrible though?
The reviews haven't been favourable,
Yeah, but they very rarely are.
I suppose.
I think even Mortal Kombat got terrible reviews, and that's an enjoyable film.
Enjoyable is a strong word.
There's a new Street Fighter movie. It's nearly 3 hours long.
I think you mentioned this to me before.
Yeah, so we can go through that one. So if you're interested in that, email us at weirdholocaust@gmail.com, and if we get enough interest, we'll do one.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, because...
Might not get enough interest.
No, we'll do it though.
We'll do it anyway.
Definitely. Right, what are we talking about this week? Well, we're going to talk about the very few games we've played, because it's been Easter, and you can't play games while eating Easter eggs.
No, you get chocolate all over the controller.
And, you know, family time is family time. And so you shouldn't be shooting things in the face when you really want to be shooting people in the face.
Yeah.
We're also going to have a run over the competition that you started last week.
Yep.
Because we had a couple of entries already.
We have.
So we need to sort of G the rest of you up to get your Arses in gear, or you will miss out on a brilliant prize. You're going to talk us through a Halo Online story for coming out of Mother Russia.
Yes.
We're going to look at how Tomb Raider, how that's going for them. And the big plate this week is all about Nintendo.
Yeah.
So we've had some tweets coming through, so we'll look at those later on. Let's crack on with the show.
Let's.
Insert a jingle.
Bouncy Ball. He's done an internet all by himself.
There was a jingle.
That was nice.
I
like
even
that.
paused in real life, did you notice? Because I knew that it'd be easier to insert a jingle if I actually paused for a second.
Oh, that's professionalism right there.
Professionalism. So professional, I forgot to get the spy Mad Libs out this week.
Given the disaster that was last week.
I think we're
We're going to have to go over what a noun is again every time we play.
I thought, but next time we do that, probably we should just research it a little bit more, then play the game. So we haven't got 20 minutes of podcast dedicated to
Finding
the
out what a noun is.
University of Nigeria. Which, it was interesting to know that is the first Google result when you type in noun to Google.
It's true, actually.
I did find
I
that
think
very
it says a
exciting.
lot about the decline of the English language.
It does. It really does. Now, while we're here, Rob, I just want to read you an email that we
Okay.
got sent today. We've won a prize
Have we?
from Yahoo.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that Yahoo was still really a thing in the world of email. I thought it was
I use a
BT now.
Yahoo email account.
Do you? Well, anyway, Yahoo Reward.
Okay.
Right, now I'm going to show you the email. I want you to tell me if you think it's legit.
Okay.
Because there are certain elements of this email. That's the email I'm showing you now.
Okay.
It looks kind of like a website from 1998, doesn't it?
It is a bit GeoCities.
So we've got kind of logos with dodgy backgrounds. We've got a lot of weird bits of thing. It's authorised by Yahoo Mail Incorporated.
Okay.
Not entirely sure that's what the company's
Right.
called. It says, you have been announced as one of our top 4 lucky winners.
Okay.
So not one of the lucky winners, one of the top 4 lucky winners. There could be
Right.
loads of lucky winners, but we're in the
Okay.
top 4. Congratulations, Yahoo/Windows Live. Are the two related, Rob?
Not to my knowledge.
No. Apparently, Yahoo and Windows Live, their head office is in Shaftesbury Avenue in London.
Okay.
It says, all the executive members of Yahoo/Windows Live management team wishes to inform you have won a prize money of 720,000 Great Britain pounds.
Yeah. Right.
For the 2015 prize promotion, which was organised by Yahoo management team and Windows Live today, Thursday the 2nd of April, to celebrate our 20 years anniversary since we become the best free email provider worldwide.
Okay. Where did they find your details? Don't you have a Gmail
Wow.
account?
Yeah, funny you should say that. Yahoo/Windows Live collects all the email addresses of people that are active online.
Okay.
Among over 1 billion plus global users that are subscribed to Yahoo, Google Mail, Hotmail, and a few other from other email providers.
Right.
In case you randomly got this email and you weren't one of those people, you'll want to think this is a scam. And your email address has been selected today, Thursday, 2nd of April 2015, via a computer random selection system, as one of top 4 lucky winners for 2015 prize promotion. As far as I can see, it says we've got to contact their fiduciary agent in
Right.
Manchester, UK,
Okay.
Dr. Johnson F. David, which I think might be the wrong way round.
No.
David Johnson sounds more realistic. It says you email him, or we can phone him on a mobile number. They're not asking for any bank details, which surprised me, because I thought that if this was a scam, they would have asked for bank details. All they want to know is our file and reference number, our country of residence, our contact address, a telephone number, an occupation, and an age.
Right.
Congratulations, David Philo and Jerry Yang, co-founders and chief Yahoo. There they are, in a tiny little photo taken from a profile box.
Yep. I'd sack that photography, by the way. It's a terrible picture.
It really should. It says, it just says that we've pretty much won.
Yeah.
So I'll put you in charge of claiming that. That's
Okay.
the bloke who won last year with a massive stack of American money.
I see.
with an audience applauding him,
Oh.
and a microphone in front of him, and what looks like a blackjack table.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not a photo of somebody who's won at a casino. I'm sure it is one of the Yahoo lucky winners from the Yahoo Winners
I'm
Live
sure it is.
MSNTM things. So you're in charge of claiming that.
Right.
And then we'll divvy it among all of our listeners.
Okay.
50-50 between the two listeners we've got.
Yep.
So
On the plus side, on that basis, I can give them Postman Gav's address, telephone number, shirt measurements.
Well, he could give us a load of addresses because he's a postman.
You could.
He could tell us a house that's currently empty,
and
then we could claim through them.
You could.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I've told you. Full disclosure there.
Yeah.
I didn't try and hide the winnings from you.
Yeah.
So we're rich.
Yay!
I can buy you a copy of Goon to watch on Blu-ray. I'm still surprised you've not seen that.
It's just something around.
It's a very good film.
Yeah.
I might have it actually on Blu-ray.
Ah.
If I find it, I will lend it to you.
Thank you.
Right, so on with the show. What have you been up to when not eating Easter eggs, visiting the coast, having birthday celebrations, and everything else?
You've pretty much eliminated everything I've been doing for the last week.
Have you played any Destiny?
I've played a very small amount. I played, I think, Wednesday.
Was that
just
when
to
I,
get a
was that
Nightfall
when I
strike.
messaged you and said I felt lonely?
Yeah. I didn't get that until I'd finished and you'd already gone offline. So I just assumed you'd gone to bed to cry.
I did. I turned the Xbox on because I had 360 on because the kids were here. And you came online.
I did.
And Silent Flare came online.
Yep.
And then I looked and you were all playing Destiny. And
were.
I was like, I could be playing Destiny, but still be on my own. Even if the disk drive wouldn't work.
Yep.
But it did make me feel quite sad. I was quite pleased. In a way.
Sad.
Yeah, because that's a good feeling to know that I'm missing something important.
Oh, right. I understand now.
Yeah, like if I didn't feel sad about it, I was like, I don't care. That would be
I
very
thought,
nice.
I thought you just started listening to the Smiths. And...
No, I have got Morrissey CD at work.
Oh.
I've also started stuttering a lot more recently.
Have you?
Somebody emailed about it. I'm doing it more now, thinking about it. But yeah, I've started stuttering a lot more. I think I'm getting old, and that's the first thing that started to go. Well, one of the first things to start to go. So don't email.
You get nervous and start to stutter.
Yeah, don't email in and say, look, you're stuttering again, because it doesn't help. I'm going to have to do that thing from It. He thrusts his fists against the posts and still insists he sees the ghosts.
On the plus side, at least I know what happened to Gareth Gates now. I'm recording a podcast with him.
Yeah. So, you play Destiny. Still alright?
Yeah. I think the prevailing feeling amongst a lot of regular players is that they are ready for the new DLC now.
Yeah.
It is starting to great, even though the Nightfall mission is different one every week. And
Yeah.
I think people are just starting to get fed up. There's no, how else do you say it? It is now, even though you know what it is going into it.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be the same thing kind of over and over, even though you can put the modifiers on and off. And a lot of first-person shooters are like that. Halo was like it. If you played levels over and over again, your variety was basically modifiers. But the new DLC is kind of in tease. We all know it's
supposed
on
to be
the
out
horizon.
in the next couple of weeks, really, wasn't it? That was the original rumour, was it was about April time.
So, I think people are ready for that now. And I can't say I disagree with that sentiment, because it would be nice to have a fresh injection of content.
Yeah.
Especially as even now, Zer, who only appears at weekends as like a special merchant, seems to be having the same stuff every few weeks on the cycle, when other things just don't feature at all, which I know is particularly frustrated Synaptic Flare that the Galahorn hasn't been there since like September, whereas the same Titan helmet I bought 2 weeks ago was there again this weekend, just gone. So, yeah, I can understand the frustrations, and I, for one, will be glad when the new DLC arrives.
Excellent. Well, hopefully we'll hear something about that very soon. They need to get it out before E3, because then E3, because was it Comet? Was that the next big, on that leaked information, there was something.
I can't remember the exact.
But there was something along those
events.
lines, wasn't it? There was some big thing coming, and I think that's going to be what they're talking about at E3.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to have to get this content out in May at the latest, so that's settled a bit before they start talking in June about next
I
content.
think a lot of people, as you said, expected it April or May time. I would thought, were it coming out in April, we'd have heard something more concrete by now.
Yeah.
So I suspect it'll be May, but yeah, hurry up, Bungie. Hurry up.
Yeah, it's buggers. Both been playing Tapped Out. I see this on your thing. Did you enjoy the little Easter egg hunt? It gave you some donuts.
Pretty basic, really.
And then,
the most positive thing, I suppose, maybe that's not the right term, I don't know. They've slightly changed the mystery boxes, haven't they?
Yes, yeah.
And I got the TIE Fire, which I thought actually was quite a good prize for a mystery box.
Yeah.
Considering the old ones basically gave you a post box or 4 edges.
I mean, my son's
so even
now
if that's
got...
the only one I get, good thing. That's
my
a
son's
nice change.
now got 3 Lard Lad donuts.
So I haven't got any.
But the drop rate is quite high, apparently, for a rare item. You can get the Blue Head Lawyer.
Yep.
Squeaky Voice Teen.
I've got him.
Kearney.
Yep.
Tyre Fire. Lard Lad Donuts. The Channel 6 news van.
Yeah, the van.
Whatever it is.
Yep.
Chalmers Honda. You can get that in there.
I got that from something else.
You can buy that, I think.
I've got that anyway, but I got it again from something else.
And then there's a couple of other bits and pieces. But that's, on Itchy and Scratchy Billboard as well.
Right.
It's worth 40 donuts on that one. So some of them are things that cost a lot of donuts when they launched, but now people
They've been out a while, so...
And the economy's changed, because Lard Lad Donuts, I think, is 120 donuts. But you can, for 120, you can buy a character in a building.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to redress the balance a little bit. But maybe also, are these buildings that are going to play into a future plot? So if they make sure everybody's got a Lard Lad, everybody's got a Tyre Fire, whatever, it balances it out.
Yeah.
Which I think is nice of the game to give it out. I did think it was an April Fool's at first, because it launched around then, and everybody was getting these premium characters in a mystery box that you get for free every 5 days.
Yeah.
And then they did the Easter egg hunt, where you get 20 donuts if you tapped on the rabbit and follow the clues, which obviously then gets you a chance to get another 3 mystery boxes. So you can kind of go through. I've now got Lard Lad, which I was quite pleased about, because I've had the Church of Lard Lad since Halloween, and I've always kind of thought, I want to buy it just so I can get that Homer mission that sits there locked. And now I've got it, and I'm quite pleased, and it's nice. And the Easter mission wasn't too much.
No.
Again, it was just, let's do a holiday. St. Patrick's Day, they did the same. I like that. I want more. I want national holidays to just be reflected as a small thing.
Yep.
And then concentrate on doing a story-based storyline that's thought of with the game in mind, not just a holiday.
Yeah.
And then so far, they've done that spot on.
I'd be interested to see what they do next, because you're kind of in that lull now.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of log in once a day, cash in, maybe I'll buy a few oddments to fill gaps in my...
Yeah. I mean, the 2 big things that have been teased are Squidport and Krustyland. Something to make them relevant again.
Yeah, Krustyland especially needs to be made.
Well, I'd like more stuff for Squidport without donuts as well. Because once you've got the shops, everything else is... I mean, just an entertainer is a huge
60
donut
donuts or something, isn't it?
And it doesn't do anything. It just walks around going, hey, look at me. And you don't ever look at that, because it's not in front of you.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see something on that, even if it's like Burns' Casino or something
See,
like
I'd
that.
love to have Birds in the Casino. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
And if that was available via donuts, I probably would save up.
Well, if they're going to do that as a thing, I think that whole bit would probably be the free building.
Yeah.
And then maybe some of the more offshoot stuff might become the premium stuff. Because again, it's something that you need something that's go through. And of course, Squidport was when it was then the new Squidport.
Yeah.
Casino. So I'd like to see that come through. And of course, that was in Simpsons Hit and Run. Yeah. That was in there. You can sort of drive around there. So that's, as I say, there's nothing concrete, but hopefully we'll get something for that. Staying with iOS, I've still been playing Adventure Time Card Wars.
Yep.
Which was the
Marvel
card game.
The Marvel one?
No, Adventure Time.
Oh, Adventure Time, sorry.
So this
I'm
is one
confusing
where-
2 different iOS games that we've talked about here.
So this is the one where you play the characters on certain
I
levels.
remember now.
So I've played it on the iPhone, and it was annoying me a little bit because the play space is so small that it's easy to drop the wrong thing on the wrong area. So I put it onto my iPad instead. Immediately lost all my progress. All my rare cards I'd built and collected all just got wiped out.
Okay.
So, word of warning, if you are thinking of starting, don't migrate it, because you can't, basically.
Because that's a pretty big hole in the plan.
It's a pretty big hole in the plan. The plus side is, I was a little bit impatient early on, so I used my premium currency to just speed the game up a bit.
Okay.
Now, knowing I don't have to, I've used it to buy rarer cards. Because if you get 3 gems, you can buy a guaranteed rare card. And in the early stages of the game, you don't really need them. But later stages of the game, you need them. So I'm kind of playing it now more methodical, with the knowledge and the hindsight from playing it. So that was all fine. I mean, I was a bit frustrated at first because I had one card that did 27 damage, and most characters have 25 health. So it was pretty much that card comes out, I've won, which is nice to have one of those in your deck. But working through, I'm kind of now happy. A friend of mine offered me an iTunes card with the grounds of saying, look, because you've lost some of your rare ones, why don't you use this, get some premium currency, maybe you'll get that card back. Which I thought, well, that's very kind, very generous. Chucked the iTunes card on, was on my phone, like tapping through to redeem it, and it said, oh, you've not used this before. Can you verify your ID? I was like, yeah, of course I can. So I went through. There's 2 security questions. Question 1, where was your first job? Now, the problem is I've got work experience and I've got actual jobs.
Right.
But then did I answer the job? Or did I answer the town?
Right.
Or the village that I was living in? Tried 4 times, locked me out of my account.
Right.
So that question was so vague that even I can't answer it.
Yeah.
So then there was a reset option. So I went through the reset option and I was like, yeah, just do this, do this, do this. Oh, no, you don't have a recovery address. You can't reset. Right. So it took my money without me having to verify who I was. But now I can't spend any of it without now ringing Apple directly.
Right.
And having a phone conversation and saying, hello, it is me. I've signed into the device. It let me change, this is the best bit, it let me change the password for the account. Okay. But it wouldn't let me buy something. So
that is kind of insane.
There's all these very odd things. So I'm going to tackle Apple tomorrow. That's my big job for the day. I'm going to bring them down. But it just seems mental that using a prepaid card, which I was allowed to place on the account, and to place it on the account I had to enter the password.
Yeah.
But that wasn't enough to verify who I was. But then to verify who I was, it gave me the option to just reset my password, which I did. Because it said mine wasn't very secure. It let me change that and add an email address as a recovery address. If I wanted to take over someone's account, it seems very easy to do. Which,
yeah, as a strange methodology.
I mean, obviously it would have emailed the primary email address to say these changes have been made.
Yeah.
So I suppose from that point, if it wasn't true, I could have just clicked
I signed into my iCloud from, I think, my work PC one day. I wanted to add something to my calendar so I didn't forget. And I got an email going, I've signed in from this PC. And I was like, oh, actually, that was quite nice.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of an unintrusive
but why couldn't they have
to
just emailed that email address and say, are you trying to make a purchase? Yes or no?
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah. Why? So I haven't been able to use the premium currency. Yeah. So I will sort that out tomorrow. But I am very annoyed. And I'm going to make them know that I'm very annoyed. First, Microsoft wind me up with not replacing my Xbox, and now Apple not letting me spend my own money.
Yeah.
How dare they?
How dare they?
I had a game night last week here.
Yes.
On Thursday. We played this game that I've got here. It's a nice sound, isn't it? Yep. Batman Love Letter. It's brilliant.
5 minutes of fun.
5 minutes of fun. Although our game lasted for like 40 minutes. So I think we might not have been playing it properly.
Doing it wrong, yeah.
There was an interesting moment. Postman Gav came up
again.
And he was reading the rules for King of New York.
Okay.
Follow-up to King of Tokyo. And the instructions were more than 10 words, so I had no real interest. He was going through, right, you do this and you do, because that's how he talks, you do this and you do that, and you do this and you do that. And I got to the point where I just decided, as long as one other person knew the rules, I didn't need to. Because I just roll the dice and they go, right, that means you do this. And I could just play the game. I felt a bit like George Bush when he was president. He didn't need to know presidency. He had people to tell him what to say and what to do. That's how I played that game. I lost miserably because I just decided to just keep attacking everything.
Just like George Bush then.
Exactly. But we played that. We played Love Letter Batman, which was... It shouldn't work because Love Letter and Batman don't really work. But this works brilliant. It's proper detective gaming. I was doing really well until I left, took my trousers off, came back downstairs naked from the waist down. I had a guitar at the time. It was very funny.
Solid someone else's guitar.
I made a joke about playing a bum note and then turned around and walked out. Proper British. That's a proper British joke, isn't it? That my girlfriend wasn't very impressed. She said, "Do you find that funny?" And I went, "I do actually."
It's a little bit amusing.
It's kind of, but it was done in that sense of like the there's a Monty Python sketch. I don't know whether it was in a TV show, but definitely when they did it live at the Hollywood Bowl, there's a scene where there's some waiters and they're all stood.
Yep.
And then they turn around and they've got arseless chaps. And they just walk off camera. It's that very British thing of socks and arse out. That just is very funny. I just find it very amusing. I always think it's funny. And so it was that. So I was trying to explain to her it was somewhat of an homage to 70s comedians. And she went, no, you got your arse out in front of another load of blokes. But you won't show me your arse as it is. I mean, because that would just be weird. Just go, hey, look, I'm mooning you. You're my girlfriend. Look at my arse. Like, you'll see my arse in the mirror when I'm putting my pants on in the morning or something like that. And so we did that. So I left Batman Love Letter to go and do that, and then I lost. And somebody didn't listen to the rules won, so I don't know what that teaches us all. Then Gav learned a bit of Star Realms, and we came in here instead of tabling in and played some Smash Up,
right,
which is like a card game. It's very complicated, and I was very tired. I don't really get it. It was good though. And then we played Spyfall, which I think I've told you about, where you have a load of people have a card that tells you where you are, and one person's a spy. And you've got to have a conversation so you know who the other person's not a spy. So imagine the answer is you're at a hockey rink.
Okay.
And I could go, oh, have you fallen over today?
And I'll say no.
Well, not necessarily, because you need me to know that you know where you are. So you could go, well, I haven't done very much because I've been practising.
Okay.
Now, if you don't know the answer's a hockey rink, that doesn't give you too much.
Right.
But I would know that you know that it's a hockey rink because you've given enough of an answer. Okay. Postman Gav is colossally shit at this. It's amazing. I wish we'd recorded it. He was given one question, said, do you like working there? And he just went, for a minute, he just paused, went, obviously thinking of something. And we all decided he was the spy because he had no idea where he was. Turned out he wasn't the spy, he was just rubbish. He just did this. It's alright, some days are better than others. It's brilliant. And then you can have it. I mean, there's an
app. It's throwing you off the scent, though.
Well, it was great because at that point I was convinced it was him, but then it wasn't because somebody else said something else that gave it away. But it was brilliant. It was 5 of us playing it, and so you can play on your smartphone. You don't need a board game. You all sign in on a server, and it's basically it will come up on your phone. You are the spy, and it won't give you any information other than what the potential locations are. Or the rest will say you are not the spy. You are, say, like head chef at a restaurant. And the conversation was brilliant. I changed my name to not Gav, because Gav kept getting confused as to who he was. So I changed mine to not Gav, and that got a laugh. And I changed it to Pedo Joe. And it turned out I was a spy in a school. And everybody else's reaction, I didn't know where I was because I was a spy, but I then knew because it was just too good a joke. And Spyfall is brilliant. And every event from now on we do, there will be games of Spyfall on smartphones because there's no cost. And it's all on. When I come around to see you and Emma again, we'll be playing it. Because although it's only 3 players, I think you could just do it with 3 players. Yeah. You definitely learn and pick it up from there. But it was just so simple, but it relies on you being able to function as a human being, which is why Gav failed.
That's why the postman.
He was so funny because even if he knew where he was, he had no idea how to vocalise that. It was just like there was one.
I've actually seen your arse.
It was something like he was in a cathedral and he said, "I've been upstairs." So, where's the upstairs in a cathedral? There are stairs. But not like I wouldn't automatically think of a cathedral having different floors. It was just he was trying to be vague, and then ended up being so vague we didn't even know who he was anymore. And it was very funny. But I felt a bit sorry for him because he just got torn apart. It was like 2 a.m. by the time he left. And we were just like, God, you're shit at this game. I think even the last game we had, I think I screenshotted the names of all the players in the match because I wanted to remember this night forever. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. It was great having people over. Here we go. So the first one was Luke, who was Luke. Love you long time. Really not Gav. Gav C. Nesbitt, and not Sheepdog. They were the player names. We got to that point where it was like, this is too funny now. The final game was Luke. Love you long time. Really not Gav. Not Sheepdog. Gav muck shit at this game. Just everything. People just change the name to Gav. Not Gav. Might be Gav. Gav don't know who Gav is. I want to know what Gav is. It was just hilarious. But yeah, it is every game night from now. We'll have Spyfall as the final game of the night. Because, especially when people are tired, it just gets mentally crazy. Hasn't had a release as a board game over here yet, or card game over here yet, but that app does it.
Yeah, you've got the app.
I think, to be honest, I probably wouldn't bother buying the game.
Yeah.
Because that does everything what's
Precisely.
available.
And everybody can get it.
Yeah, all you do
Brilliant.
is you get, as long as you've got a smartphone, you just basically put in the name of the game, so it'll give you random numbers and letters, and then you just sign your name, and you're on the game. And yeah, it's fantastic. So, lots of good board gamey stuff, and there'll be more of that soon. Football Manager, how's Peterborough United doing?
Dortmund, don't they?
Oh, of course you are.
Keep up.
Peterborough, you are in the hockey game.
No, I'm the New York Islanders in my East Side Hockey Manager.
Well, fuck off, Bouncy.
I did have a Peterborough Football Manager game running previously. I think we talked about it on some of the early episodes, but I started a Dortmund game because I wanted to.
So what we've learned from this is I listened to you early in the show, and as they've gone on, I've just stopped.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not intentional, I do apologise.
I'm glad I lost your apple cart now.
How are Dortmund doing?
I've made a good start to my current season. I'm happy. I changed my formation slightly, and now I'm awesome. So, yeah, go me.
Right, here. Battle for Hardline.
Yep.
I was going to finish this today.
Were you?
I came home from work.
Yep.
I've had a bit of a dilemma with the work situation, so I thought, well, I'll get...
Is this because that man wouldn't leave your shop? Or is this a different work?
That man, if he comes back in my shop, he will be told that he's got to buy something or get and not stand there for 2 hours.
I was just amazed because I saw it on my lunch break at work, and as you tweeted it out by the @We Are the Lollicots Twitter account with R instead of word R.
Using a very strong swear word that was
Yes.
very appropriate. Given
Very
the
appropriate. And
situation.
he's basically got a man. You said he was in a full suit. Obviously, in the picture, he's only got his waistcoat, tie pin,
Yeah, he didn't have a jacket,
nice shirt on,
but he had
and a
everything
baseball
else.
cap.
And he had the sleeves rolled up, and he had tattoos on his arms.
Oh, I couldn't see the sleeves because of the angle of the picture.
So he had no jacket, but sleeves rolled up with the button to hold them on, and then but a full glossy waistcoat, tie pin, and then a baseball cap.
Yeah.
Like, if he'd have had a trilby, he would have just been a hipster dickhead.
Yep.
But instead, it looked like something out of Saints Row.
Yep.
But Saints Row Wisbeach edition. And
I can't imagine that
and
was so well.
he walked in, and the first three things he said did not really endear me. The first thing was, "Oh, you rent films? What's the point of that when Netflix exists?" That's the first thing he said to me. The second thing he said, "Oh, you haven't got many games?" I'm like, I'm going to get you a bit. And the third thing he said is, "Oh, Red Dead Redemption, it's alright, I'm a bit bored of it though." I just thought, oh, okay. So I didn't engage him. I ignored him mostly. My friend Tom was in, and he turned to Tom and went, "Do you play much?" And Tom went, "Yeah, mate, yeah." He goes, I play a lot now. I got kicked out of the Territorial Army because I put a bomb in the sergeant's toilet. When he went and sat on the toilet, it went off and the toilet just blew up everywhere. And then my mate got kicked out the same day. It was proper funny because he fired a rocket launcher out of a car window. And I just thought, like, if you're going to start with some bullshit, start with low level. Don't go, fired a rocket launcher out of a moving vehicle. Go, I was in the Territorial Army, but I got kicked out because I stole a first aid tin or something.
Yeah.
Or I put too many rocks in my backpack. Couldn't do the
With the rough ramblers.
Yeah. Something like that would be acceptable. I stole a tank and tried to go to Disneyland. That's a bit of a push. That's sitcom world. He went beyond that, firing a rocket launcher out of a moving car. Even the British Army, I've seen lots of videos where they're firing ordnance in the desert. I've never seen them fire it from a moving car because it's stupid.
I'm not sure even James Bond has done that.
No, I think a villain might have from a sun. The guy in Back to the Future does, doesn't
That's from a sun. That's from like a sunroof, though. That's
Yeah.
not out the window. That's physically standing up with it on his shoulder.
he? Yeah. So I mean, if he'd have said he'd
Because
done
the
that,
thing is, like, even in Commando,
yeah.
where she fires it from the convertible,
Yeah.
she can stand up because the roof is down. She's
Yeah.
not firing out
You
the window.
need room behind you.
Exactly.
for the
This is
exhaust.
what I was getting at, because if he turns with a normal rocket launcher, whoever's driving that car is going to be smacked in the face and they're going to crash before he's fired the rocket.
Or
This story's complete bullshit.
Or he's fired it and the jet repulsion, or whatever it is, the opposite
Blown
of
the other
propulsion,
window out.
has just killed the driver. Or he's leant out sideways, at which point he's going to have no grip whatsoever, and that's just going to fly out of his hand backwards. So yeah, he was obviously going in with rubbish.
I think you should get a button in your shop and just shouts bullshit.
He then
and
said,
go, bullshit!
Well, I did think about getting like a banner, like just pull a lever and it would go,
Balloons come down and bullshit.
or that thing off Charlie Rooker's Weekly, right? The bullshit, week in bullshit, what it was called. But then he was going on about he'd been to a nightclub, got punched in the face. They got so drunk it took him 2 hours to walk, a 5-minute walk. That he's got handguns in his loft that he keeps in a duffel bag in a cabinet in the loft because he got them from when he was in the TA. but he won't be able to get the licence until he's 18. But he was in a club drinking, but he's not 18 yet to get his licence thing. His date of birth on his Facebook profile makes him 19. And
so maths isn't a strong point either.
Oh, everything was a lie. Everything. It just... And he stood there and he kept going on and on and on. And I tried subtly to just say, look, shut up. Nobody believes a word you say. He said to me, I've completed that game 100%. I forget what game it was. And I said, what's your gamer tag? And he went, no, I don't have it anymore. I was like, well, no, your profile will still be on there. Even if you don't have access to it, it'll still be on there. It'll be fine. We'll just look. No, I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I went, okay. Well, you probably don't want to buy the Xbox game you were thinking of buying. Oh, yeah, well, I've still got it, but I haven't got it. It's like, so I was like...
You're still dating Kate Moss as well?
Well, here's the funny thing. We looked at his Facebook profile, and on there he's in a relationship. The first comment was, what, with an imaginary girlfriend, you lying twat? So it's like, his friends obviously know him quite well then, because every comment underneath was... No, you haven't. Stop lying. Nobody likes you. And I felt a bit sorry for him at this point, because he probably came in the shop thinking, they're nerdy people. I might make a new friend here. But then he just went too far. If he'd have come in and just had a chat about games, we could have got on. Even with the twattish outfit he was wearing, I could have said, look, mate, take the hat off. The rest of the outfit, that's fine. You're golden. But the hat, no. It's not good. Get it off.
It's not good.
And instead he went in with my mate fired a rocket launcher out of a car window, which is not going to endear anybody to anybody.
Icebreaker at parties.
It'd be awesome if true. But the fact that
logistics
clearly
don't add up.
No, if he'd have said...
Did you specify what car?
No, he didn't.
If
he comes back, I'll pin him down on this story.
Yeah.
In fact, if he comes back, I will record the conversation, because not thinking it through, I didn't record this one. But next time, I will record everything he says.
So if there's a week where it's just some bloke talking, like episode 21...
Episode 21.
People
bullshit.
are now prepped on exactly what's happened.
It'll be called Bullshit. The Bullshit Spectacular. I might even just record a whole day and then just make 5-minute segments. We'll be sorted for a life on that.
I wonder if we should have a little bell. Some friends of mine, they do the official podcast of Belfast Giants. It's called A View from the Bridge.
Right.
And basically there are cliches which a couple of them use quite regularly. They don't mean to necessarily, but sometimes you get stuck in this loop where you use these cliches over and over again.
Yeah.
So Paddy, the host, basically has a bell that he'll ding every time they reel out the cliche. So maybe we should do something similar.
Just
when
for
they
shop.
go bullshit.
Can I just have
shop? Yeah.
Can I just have a trapdoor down to the basement bit where it's walled off? And just
Can
go,
it play the actual music from the TV show Trapdoor?
It could do. I'd also quite like if it played
Just to
before
see if
that.
anybody notices it and moves when they hear the music, like, stay away from that trapdoor.
Yeah, and then
and they
it'd
sort
be
of
a
like, what? And then they just fall through the
a
floor.
big handle on the floor where it's quite obviously a trapdoor. And then just have a plasticine spider sitting on the counter, just as one last clue. But anyway, regardless of all that, man, I haven't been able to play Battlefield Hardline. Because my disk drive refused to recognise the disc for an hour and a half.
It's not like your disk drive to do that.
Well, do you know what? When I first put it in, first time, straight in, installed. Got Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition this week.
Yep.
Well, put that in to install, which is why Battlefield's not in there. First time in, installed.
Yep.
Took 20 minutes to install the game. I was very pleased. And Diablo 3, bloody hell, that's a good game. Really like it. Same screen co-op.
Okay.
So I miss that, especially on next gen. So I'll be playing a lot of that with my kids. I don't know how many. I'm hoping it's 4 players. Because if it is, that'd be crazy. But I haven't played enough to talk about it. Well, saying that. So I've played 5 minutes of Battlefield tonight, which is supposed to be finishing the story. And instead, all I've done is ran into a garage, shot some people, found a man in the boot of a car, stole a laptop, blew up a warehouse, and then tried to escape.
It's quite a busy 5 minutes, to be fair.
It's a very busy game. Because it uses this cop show kind of structure.
Formula, yeah.
It does allow for a cutscene that'll set everything up, and then you're doing the interactive bit. And then it'll go on to a cutscene again. And then it'll get to another bit where there'll be some criminals coming after you or whatever. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. It's a phenomenal game. There was a stealth section. Now, you know how much I dislike stealth in games. There was a section where basically I've been framed for a crime, which is not really spoiler because it's opening the game as you're on a prison bus. And someone basically drives alongside and goes, right, shows you a magnetic bomb, throws it at the side of the bus, pulls away, prison bus explodes, rolls over, and all the prisoners are escaping. So it's night time in a desert town, and you're trying to get to a water tower where you're going to meet a contact. So this is the sort of bit where if you're seen, it's game over. I hate that in games. I really do. But you go through it and you have to kind of improvise stuff because you've got no amp, you've got no weapon at all. And then there's a police cruiser and you can go in the boot of the car and get a stun gun. So you've now got some way of defending yourself. Carry on through. You need to create a diversion or an optional diversion. Find a meth lab. There's a Breaking Bad reference in there, which I was very pleased about. And although it was difficult, it still felt relevant to the plot. It wasn't just like, let's put this in to slow it down. It's like you've just escaped from a maximum security stockade, and now you're wanted as not a soldier of fortune necessarily, but you've had to escape to the New York underground. And if you can find him, and no one else can help, maybe you can hire the guy whose name I can't even remember. But no, it's very bloody good. It's just
it does sound positive.
Yeah, if they were to make a movie of it, it would be a cracking film. Yeah. And it's not very often you get that. Like when you play through and you think if they just used everything.
But if they made a movie of it, they'd let Uwe Boll direct it.
I still think as long as he followed the structure of the game, he'd be fine. No, he wouldn't. You're right.
Yeah,
but it is. Right. But it is very good. And what I like about it is any DLC for it would just be like Christmas special. They could do a Christmas special episode. And it could be completely mental, like the Blood Dragon for Far Cry. They could literally just do a gang of Santas is going around robbing people. And they could do it, and it would work in the setting.
Imagine if they did like a Police Squad style Christmas special, slightly slapsticky.
Yeah, but they could. I mean, this is it. Anything is possible now because that episodic format allows for it. And I really want more of this. I know the game's not that long, and I want to know more about this world. I want these characters. It's like when you watch a really good 12-episode TV series, and like we were saying about the X-Files, once that's finished, there's a very good chance we're going to be clamouring for more.
Always leave them wanting more.
And it'll at least be a year before we get more. And I know with Battlefield Hardline, they're going to make Battlefield Hardline 2 next year, because they'll be on to the next Battlefield game. They might come back to it a year later than that. And it's like, no! I don't want to finish it, because it's my perfect game. It's like we said last week, it's L.A. Noire the way I wished L.A. Noire played. Like I genuinely feel like a detective. And because it's more of a game, it's not just walking around going...
It's a bit more fluid.
Here's the thing. Yeah,
flows better.
Great fun. Great fun.
See, I'm not massively opposed to stealth sections as long as they are done right.
Yeah, and this absolutely was. And what was also quite nice about it is the characters, or the police, aren't just a robot that walks around and will see you. Yeah. They're talking to each other, they're interacting with the environment around them, they hear something or they'll move things around, or they were going door to door. So this is half deserted town, and they were just like banging on the doors, and that's your opportunity to kind of run in and go on the back of the head and leg it off again, leave them crumpled on the porch. But yeah, it had a really good checkpoint system, so you never felt too frustrated. It was stealth done right. Yeah. In a game that needed that for it to work. You know, I mean, it's detective drama. A lot of the time you are creeping around, but it's never quite as forced as it was in that section. Yeah. But it's now made me more effective at creeping around. So the last mission I did, there was a whole warehouse full of people. There was 6 guards in there. All of them crossing over each other so they could see each other. And I was using all the distraction techniques. Then stun gunned one right in the middle of the room. And there was 2 shipping containers. And I then stood around the other side and waited for them to come through. You've got a police scanner which you can tag people. And if you've got that up, you'll see their outline. So it'd be like the Batman Arkham thing. So you can see their outline as long as you've got that scanner. And so you can see if they're starting to come around the corner, then you put that away, pull out your stun gun, lean around, there's another one gone. So then they'll see that guy, they'll see this guy, they'll come and investigate again. Oh, hello, there's a man with a stun gun. Boom, you've gone down. It's great. It's a really good game, and I've not even touched multiplayer. And I already think it's one of the best games to play this year. Which is high praise for a single player mode in a multiplayer game.
Definitely, yeah. But as we said, was it last week, it's heartening that a developer who's really their bread and butter is now their multiplayer has put such a great effort into single player.
So I haven't played all of Battlefield, but I'm loving it.
Good.
So hopefully got all day tomorrow to beat off Apple.
Oh, no.
and then
Yeah.
and then play Battlefield Hardline. So if I can get those both finished to completion, I will be happy. So I need to get Apple to completion, and then I'll be like, it's all over your face now, Apple.
Yep.
And then I'll be straight into the Hardline.
What a mess, Apple.
Firing and shooting in people's faces left, right and centre.
We are the Holocaust. Be with us or be branded a Holocaust denier.
Halo Online. Tell me all about this Halo Online, because you know more about it than I do.
Yeah, even then, I'm wouldn't say I'm fully in it. It's something that caught my eye, which is more news is starting to come out. Basically, 343 well, not just 343. There's some others involved in it as well. I do people down. It's 343 Industries, Sabre Interactive, who did the Master Chief Collection, or co-developed it, shall I say, and a Russian publisher called Innova Systems are bringing a PC-only Halo shooter. It's going to be online only, and in Russia only, which maybe isn't as unusual in itself. There have been certain games which only appear in certain countries.
Yeah, I mean,
this is not a new phenomenon.
It's like that Metal Gear Online that was massive abroad, but not so much over here. They do these kind of things, but also I wonder whether this is to do with the fact that PC gaming is massive in Russia compared to console gaming, particularly with a big American console. Is that going to be sold in what is essentially the enemy? Whereas PC gaming, I mean, Microsoft is on PCs. Yeah, that's kind of there by remit. Is this a way of kind of getting under the radar? Because of course we haven't had Master Chief Collection hasn't been announced for PC. A lot of people were expecting it, but it never happened. So is this their first steps towards creating a Halo for PC that's designed solely for PC, and maybe using Russia as a test point?
Maybe. And you make a fair point about the interest in PC gaming there, but obviously because it's Halo, it has it achieves a certain amount of newsworthiness. I've set this whole thing up terribly, but you get what I'm driving at. It's obviously going to hit the news. It's going to be of interest to a lot of people who have played Halo on console and also on PC, because some of the older versions of the game did make it to the PC. So to have it in Russia only, as you said, which is a strange market in itself, political reasons if nothing else. So that obviously caught people's eye. It's not even into the closed beta stage yet. Though there is an internal build which has found its way online, apparently. And so people have been poking and prodding at this new project. And as we mentioned, it's only plans to launch the game in Russia. But also that there are microtransactions involved in the game.
Right. Now,
there are concerns from some. Again, this is all on the sort of the surface of what we know, which isn't a huge amount. That these microtransactions could, I suppose, break the game. Because you pay to upgrade all these weapons at the start, and you've instantly got an advantage over somebody who just wants to progress naturally. Yeah. Which in a community like Halo's, I think you can understand. Because people have got used to playing it in a certain way and unlocking stuff as they go and getting to know what power-ups benefit them the most and how they like to play online and all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, I can see why there might be concerns, but as you and I kind of mentioned off-air before we started, equally, these sort of transactions are maybe the way things are starting to go a little bit. Yeah. So again, is this if you look testing the water for 343 and Microsoft?
I'm trying to remember the name of the game now, but there was a game that was made free. I mean, it's World of Tanks, World of Warplanes. You've got, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it launched on PS4 first, and it was like a sci-fi shooter, first person. I can't remember, but you basically had these credits that meant you could have so many lives, or you could spend premium credits to keep playing. These sort of games exist. It's a way to make free-to-play work financial. I've just been looking up Innova Studios, because obviously we know 343 well. And Innova Studios, their main thing is they make game engines for sci-fi related games. So specifically, and what gets me quite excited thinking about Halo, space exploration. Explore the cosmos with a universe that can fit in the palm of your hand. Simulation and training, interactive entertainment. We had explorers. And so they've basically been on Kickstarter in 2013/14 to get this game engine working. So it looks like this game engine will be what the game's running on. But if I just sort of show you a quick screenshot, that's sort of the terrain they've made with their game engine, which is a very pretty bit of kit. So again, it looks like they've sort of gone from the point of view of saying, okay, well, Halo, first-person shooter, yeah, that would work on PC, but you know what else would work on PC? A massively online game. Now, if you've got 256 players in some big persistent battlefield, that's something you couldn't do on console.
No.
You certainly could do on PC. So again, I can totally get behind the idea of a PC-only game, as much as it would frustrate me not being able to play it so much. But that's fine. I mean, you have to accept these things sometimes.
I think it's the lack of clarity over what it all means long term.
It's not mentioned on there. Their whole website, and they've not mentioned whatsoever that they're working on a Halo game. So I think this is something that is very, very early stages.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even allowed to put it on their corporate website. And you'd think if you were working with Microsoft and 343 on a
You'd
huge
shout about it a
franchise,
little bit.
yeah, as soon as you were able to do so, you would be shouting everywhere. So
yeah, as I said, at this stage, it's what we know is that it's PC only. It's going to be in Russia only, and it's going to involve some form of microtransactions. But to what extent, we don't know. But this is where people are starting to prod at this internal build that's found its way online. So
I mean, it'd be interesting to see how modders play around with it, because it's happened before where a game has been very restricted by either region or play state, and then somebody's come in and gone, actually, that's now done, that's done, that's there, this is this. And very often it's done to say, well, hang on, Microsoft, we want to play this as well.
Yeah.
We don't mind. If you release it for everyone, we'll just mod the game in a non-threatening way.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine Microsoft will be very happy.
No.
At this stage, things are being pulled apart by people. But then it's a huge and rabid fan base.
But that's,
like I said, the PC gamers who are waiting for the Master Chief Collection to be announced. This is like a red rag to the bull, really.
Even people who are waiting for Halo 5 this autumn that we talked about in last week's episode, if this is there to fill the gap, well, they're going to have a look, surely.
Yeah.
Because like, well, I've got a PC as well. I quite like Halo. I'd quite like to give this a go. Let's have a little look, shall we?
Yeah,
So,
well, we will see. Maybe again, E3, maybe they're going to do something. Maybe that was what they were all holding back for and why that hadn't been announced on their site. But we will see. Tomb Raider reboot. Best-selling iteration in franchise history.
Yes.
Which is somewhat surprising to me, actually. When we talked about it, I mean, it has been a massive success. And it's had, and this includes the definitive editions.
It does.
So it's had a lot of consoles releasing it. But I would have thought maybe Tomb Raider 2 or 3 on the PS1 would have sold more because it was a less crowded market then.
It was.
And everybody who had a PlayStation bought Tomb Raider, pretty much.
It did surprise me. It sold 8.5 million copies.
Yeah.
Now, as you mentioned, that does include the definitive edition on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So you've kind of, that's 4 consoles in what we're now 4.5, 5 years
And
since it was
PC
released.
as well.
PC as well.
Yeah.
So since 2013, that's a pretty good cross section of platforms to sell
It
on,
is,
because it's basically every platform.
I
bar
bought
iOS.
it twice.
So
So
that's
I mean,
the other thing you
that's-
see. That's where maybe it warps things slightly because
But why did I buy it twice?
Because you loved it.
Yeah.
Well, no,
it-
it's
it
fine,
just
yeah,
doesn't
no, it's
warp
not
it.
because-
It's not like
yeah,
I've
yeah.
been forced to sort of go, hey, buy that fucking game. It was instead, it was like, actually, it was on sale. I think it was 11 quid for the definitive edition. And I just thought, you know what, I'd like that.
Yeah,
Mark.
I think you can buy it 20 quid new normal price now.
Yeah, and I was just like, you know what, I'll buy it again because it's got the Tress effects. Which every time I think it's Tress effects, I don't know whether I've imagined that, and I'm thinking of Tresemme, the hair company. But I'm sure Tress effects was the hair modelling thing.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
a lot of copies though.
it is a lot of copies, and I didn't really realise it until I said the headline caught my eye, so I did a look. But I mean, it sold 3.4 million copies in the first month. I think it came out.
It'll be
Which
interesting.
was a record again for the series, but apparently that fell short of what Square Enix thought it would do, which again also surprised me because that's quite a lot.
It is quite a lot. I mean, when you consider
So-
that Rock Band 3 did less than 1,000 copies in the UK, that's quite a lot.
Yeah,
But again, you compare it to Grand Theft Auto or FIFA or whatever, where you're talking about millions of copies day one. I mean, it's the problem. Square Enix have this issue every now and then where they'll over-exaggerate their anticipation. At the moment, they're in the process of revealing a new game. It's potentially a new Deus Ex game. Now, as much as people seem to like Human Revolution, it's not a game that people are really crying out for a sequel to. But of course, they're putting out this IP that people want new stuff. They want new shiny stuff all the time. But they just need to scale it back and just realise that that's a good selling game. Whether it hits unexpected, I'd be interested to see how the platform exclusivity deal affects Rise.
Yeah, well, that was something I was going to mention, just as a side note, which maybe tells you what goes into some of these big titles.
Yeah.
The reboot of Tomb Raider was launched in March 2013, and reading the Eurogamer article, it didn't reach profitability until the end of 2013. So it's 9 months of good sales before it became profitable. So it gives you a slight insight into how much money goes into these big titles, but also how many you have to sell to then start making money.
I mean, of course, they had to do new proprietary game engine.
Yeah.
So everything they can now reuse elements of. So that may
will
the next
help
one
Rise.
be more effective. So maybe that's part of what helped with the exclusivity deal, because they haven't got that startup, they haven't got to rebrand everything, they've not got to put all the marketing out like they had to. I mean, they really had to fight tooth and claw to make this stick as this is not the Tomb Raider you know, but it's enough of the Tomb Raider you know, but it's also a Tomb Raider you don't know. And that's difficult to sell that. I mean, new IP is hard, but rebooting very popular IP is even harder. But if you look at some of those later PS1 and PS2 Tomb Raider games, they were awful.
Yeah.
They would just buy the numbers, let's go to this location, let's do this, let's shoot that animal in the face. And what this did is it actually said let's concentrate on the survival element. And as we've talked about before, Rise has got more of that with the foraging and the hunting and stuff. So, yeah, I'm very pleased it's sold well. But again, it's not surprising it sold well, because it is
a very good
phenomenal game. Yeah, and that's the point. Like, you get a good game, it will sell well. So, right, shall we get the big plate out?
If you want to.
I'll pull it out. Oh, there's a big plate. Look at that.
Yeah.
Massive, isn't it?
It's massive.
You could lot of potatoes on
I'm a
that
bit
plate.
intimidated.
A bit intimidated, maybe.
No.
No, it's too far. Right, Nintendo.
Yeah.
I've been showing you some Nintendo clips.
You have.
Earlier. How impressed were you? As a non-Nintendo person.
I like what they are doing with Mario, the Mario Builder, was that what they called it?
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker, sorry, that was the word. I like the idea of Mario Maker.
Yeah, so for people listening at home, you haven't seen this, do go and Google it immediately, because it's fantastic. It's basically a drag and drop interface to make your own Mario game. Level by level, you can share them with friends as well, and share them online, record speedruns and all sorts. But as we saw, incredibly simple. That our kids could use it.
Yep. That's the great thing. Anytime any game of any size, I think Halo kind of did it.
Yeah.
Was it the theatre they called it?
Yes. Yeah.
Anytime you make it intuitive and easy to use, but also complex enough so people can make challenging levels, you're onto a winner.
Yeah.
How can you not be?
Exactly.
And it seems like that's what Nintendo have done here. It's simple enough so that anybody could design their own level, but also there seems to be enough variety in there that you can make something fiendishly difficult if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Just by the way you lay out the jumps and the enemies.
And this is what, like, a lot of people will say, oh, I could do that. Well, no, you can. If you're that good, if you can make a game that's as tightly designed as some of those older NES games. And that's, I mean, basically, what they've done is they've given you the tools to remake and improve upon previous Mario games.
Yes.
And you can use styles from the original Mario, from Mario 2, new Mario World on the SNES, and New Super Mario from the DS. And basically the layout is exactly the same, it just changes how it looks. And again, that's going to appeal, because people who are massively retro will play Mario 1 and 2 levels. They'll design it to that one, because that's all they grew up with. But it'll also appeal to kids who've only played the new Super Mario Bros. Because it will look shiny and nice. Yeah. And that is sometimes a bit of a difficult one, because you need to appeal to both crowds, and they've done that. As far as I know, it's going to be... I think it's Wii U and potentially 3DS. Let me just check that, because I remember when they first announced it, they showed it off, because they're using the stylus to drop it on. Now, there is a stylus on the Wii U tablet. So I always assumed it was going to be on...
Watching the video, I have assumed the same. Because obviously
it's Wii U.
The Wii U's got its interface on the controller, or tablet, whatever you call it. And obviously the DS. Because that's what the DS is.
Yep, just checked it. It is the Wii U, which is good. It's launching in September. And again, I mean, it says Mario Maker has often been a source of speculation as the base of Nintendo's actions in early 2015 in removing videos of Super Mario World ROM hacks as well as tool-assisted speedruns, likely in order to remove visible competition to Mario Maker, which obviously you can then make a lot of competitive. Nintendo's program, as Dalek spoke about weeks ago, they are quite kind of heavy-handed with things, but again, they're protecting their IP, which I can't be negative about. But yeah, so basically what I was showing you clips from was the Nintendo Direct, which is a monthly thing they put out. And generally it's, this game's coming out, so we're doing this. This month, as we saw, absolutely crammed with new stuff. So we've got new Amiibo content. The Amiibo, Nintendo's Greatest Bits, showed you that. So you can just tap your Amiibo on your device and play a section of an old retro game. Which again, it's just a nice little detail that you wouldn't get.
It's nice that they're mixing it up. So you will buy a figurine, but you're not already clued into what you're going to get.
No, it's just a randomly selected game.
So you can't say, oh, I've bought Yoshi, I'm going to get this.
Yeah.
You don't know. And I like that. It's a nice touch because as much as people like to collect things knowing I need this to get that, and I've got this, and I've completed this. Yeah. That element of randomness spices it up a little bit.
In some way, it almost counter-argues a lot of criticism of Amiibo, which is that Nintendo release it in limited quantities and it makes it more collectible. So to a point, you can't then go, right, I want the Amiibo that's got Super Mario World, so therefore I'm going to buy that Amiibo.
Yeah.
And that one then suddenly becomes more valuable, because you don't know that. So in some respects, you've got to buy more if you want all of them, and potentially you could keep buying and never get them.
Yeah.
Or it'll get to the point where you'll have some kid who buys one with his pocket money and he'll have one that's one in like 6,000 chance of getting a game in there. And he could have something that's really valuable.
Yes.
I like that. It's like the golden ticket thing. You don't know what it is. So that is marvellous. We've got like another 20 Amiibo have been announced. You've got everything up to Dr. Mario, which is... I kind of want that, even though it still frightens me a little bit. So we've got new characters for Super Smash Brothers. We've got Yoshi's Woolly World, which is the follow-up to Epic Yarn. We've got Splatoon, which is still, as far as I'm concerned, the most exciting new IP Nintendo worked on for a long while. If you haven't seen about it, you're fighting for control of an area by shooting paint.
Okay.
So much like those old Mario Party games where you'd have like the paint stampers,
and
you'd have to get a certain percentage, kind of like that really. If you shoot a character who's made of ink, they'll burst, and then that colour will be put all over. And yeah, it's just fast paced. It's Nintendo. It's brightly coloured. It's like Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare was in that it's so that you can play with everybody.
Yeah,
which is what Nintendo does well. But it's also a shooter game, which Nintendo don't do very well. But this is really done very well. I played a bit of it at Eurogamer. I do love it so much, and I can't wait for it to come out. I just hope as new IP it's priced right. They bring it out at $29.99. It will go to almost every Wii U owner, and then it will work because it's 5v5 multiplayer. You need that online stuff to work. Nintendo 64 and DS games are now going to be playable on Wii U, so you can buy Mario 64 and play it on your Wii U.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And Nintendo, I mean, Microsoft. What's the best they can do? They can bring back Halo Combat Evolved.
Yeah,
and honestly, the problem they've got is they don't have. Microsoft came out at a time when graphical fidelity was shit. So if you bring back something from the past, it's just going to look old and dated.
We've talked about Combat Evolved on previous episodes.
And we've talked about how retro games from the 90s have aged a lot better. And of course this makes it very well because you're playing it on a small little tablet or your big screen and it's nice and shiny. It explains why Nintendo took down the HD Mario 64 project that the fans were working on. But I don't blame them because... Firstly, it is a big game that they brought it out on DS as a version, so they brought that through. But also, like Mario Kart DS has been released to play on the Wii U. Yeah, which just it's just a nice extra thing, and you can hold the tablet sideways and have this like kind of virtual DS right in front of you. So for people that missed those games, it's a good way of not having to spend £20 to find a cartridge somewhere on a car boot so you can have it. Go through. Fatal Frame is coming. They've got Puzzle and Dragons Z, which is I've played it on an app. Okay. It's one of those match colour gems, and what you match affects the combat at the top. A bit like Puzzle Quest, if you ever played that. so that's coming. You've got Attack on Titan, you've got Codename Steam, you've got Octodad, you've got Mutant Mudge, you've got Don't Starve, Giant. All these indie games now that Nintendo are making it very easy for people to put them onto. And again, it kind of fits with the Nintendo crowd a bit better. They've always been very good with indie stuff, but they're now getting these bigger names coming in. But then you get to the big stuff, which is Animal Crossing DLC for Mario Kart 8, where they've actually gone in, and the racetrack is 4 seasons.
Okay.
So it changes as you go through. They've redone all the music. You've got cameos from all the characters from the games. And it just works. Now, I've got the DLC, which was the Link and Cat Mario packs, which gives you an F-Zero racetrack, an Excite Bike racetrack, and then 2 new ones. And it's very well made. But sometimes I wish it was quicker. And then Nintendo really pulled it out of the bag. Because Mr. Iwata comes out and says, "But wait, that is not all we have to show you. Look at this," with his little bow that he does. And then they do a little knockover of the Mario Kart franchise and announce 200cc is coming to Wii U. And that's only going to be a good thing. Because finally Mario Kart is going to feel like a racing game with speed involved. It's why I always love the Sonic racing games, because they were quicker. I want that. I want to feel like I'm actually racing. You play a Mario Kart game on 50cc, especially after playing 150, and it's like people on mobility scooters trying to go up a slope. It's just there's just no fun to it. There's no challenge to it really.
Yeah.
The computer opponent, the AI is easier. The carts handle so much easier. It's just pedestrian. 200cc frightens me. It intimidates me. Like I've never been intimidated by a Nintendo game before, and that's kind of what I'm very excited about, because they're bringing out shooters. They're bringing out these big indie games, and then they're doing something that makes a family game really bloody difficult.
Yeah.
That's a good new Nintendo way of doing things.
It is. And there's some cool stuff in there. But there's one problem.
Yeah.
It still doesn't make you want to buy a Nintendo console or handheld.
Well, I've bought one.
I know you have.
And I bought it because of Mario Kart 8. And because of Bayonetta 2 as well.
Yeah.
I think because the part of the big point, the big plate this week was, how is this going to affect Nintendo at E3? Because Nintendo pretty much at E3 are nobody.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Reggie. Fucking Reggie. Ruin it up.
Reggie Yates.
But also because they always seem to come out of the gate. There's stuff that you always know is coming. So there's always going to be a new Zelda. There's always going to be a new Mario or a new Donkey Kong or whatever. And you just think, that's not a big, like, oh God, there's a new Zelda. Because we know.
They don't tease it well, like others have done with things like Halo 5.
But also, a reliance on existing IP means you can't really be surprised by something new.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, look. I mean, like, Yoshi's Woolly World has got a lot of excitement. Firstly, because it does a Yoshi game in the Epic Yarn Kirby style, which just looks cool. They're also bringing out woolly amiibos, which are actually fabric stitched amiibo-looking things. So bring out 3 of those. Again, it's just, that's something that is significantly different enough that people get excited. Toad Treasure Tracker. People got excited by it because it was Toad in a game like... Well, there was a section in Super Mario 3D World that did the kind of, it had that kind of same element. But, like I said, that it's one of those things where Nintendo have kind of on the back foot. They came into the generation late. The Wii was a massive profit for them, but it didn't exactly push them forward as a games company.
No, it cracked a certain market very well.
Yeah, but that market's now dried up.
Yeah.
Because they've evolved and then moved on, and they've gone, actually, I quite like these games. What's next? And then Microsoft come out and say, look at this shiny bastard.
Yeah.
And Nintendo couldn't do that. The Wii U didn't step up like it needed to. It was too expensive. The games that came out weren't Nintendo enough. And that's the kind of problem. It's a double-edged sword. If you just bring out the Nintendo franchises, people bemoan the fact, like I just did, that there's no surprise. But if you don't have those at launch on a Wii console, don't launch a Wii console.
Yeah.
There was no Mario.
You've not played to your hardcore audience or the casual audience.
If the Wii U had launched with the new Zelda, like when the N64 launched with Mario 64, I mean, that was a huge jump for the franchise, and it sold the console.
Yeah.
The DS launched with Mario games. It launched with these things, and it goes forward. And the two that have had sort of stuttered launches are the 3DS and the Wii U, because both of them had some degree of support from Nintendo, but the majority of it was third party. Ubisoft in particular helped both those consoles have a good launch. But now we're at a point where I'm genuinely excited to see what they do at E3, because we know there's a new console coming. We don't know much about it. We know it's the NX, I think it's called as a code name. Is it going to be handheld? Is it going to be a console? Is it going to be both? Is it going to be related to their mobile gaming? Because they've now got the license to do mobile games based on their apps. It's, for the first time in a long while, and I say this even going back to before the Wii, it's the first time I'm excited to hear from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because this could be the year they pull it back and become a proper console maker again, and a proper game maker again, where they can compete with Sony and Microsoft. And there are people who argue they don't have to, that they live in their own bubble. I don't want that. I want it to be like it used to be with Sega and Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then you had Atari and stuff around the outside. I don't want Nintendo being Atari. I want Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yeah.
I want Nintendo to be the console that people go, oh, you've got a Nintendo console. That's cool. I want them to think that it's a viable alternative to those other big next-gen consoles, because it doesn't have to be shiny. The Wii proved that. It just has to be cost-effective, have enough good content on there, and serve a purpose.
It's part of the problem. I take your point, fully on board about what you said about the Wii U launch without one of the big titles.
Yep.
And I'm with you there.
Yep.
I think you're bang on that one. But it's part of the problem going back to the original Wii, that it cracked that casual market brilliantly, which then dried up, but obviously it sold the Wii.
Yeah.
Is the knock-on of that the Wii and Wii U are seen as one-trick ponies, and thus far nothing has managed to break that image.
I think that is a very fair point. I think the Wii U is a terrible name for the console. They should have changed. They got rid of the Wii bit out of it.
Yeah.
Because people who had a Wii didn't see the reason to upgrade. I mean, like you were saying, the thing with the Wii that did so well, it was being played on BBC News.
Yeah.
Like the hosts were saying, look at this amazing game. Old folks' homes were getting it in. People are using it as play therapy.
And then the Kinect came out for the Xbox.
Yeah. And
Like,
but that was Microsoft reacting to
Oh
Nintendo.
yes, it certainly was.
And this
but
is the point.
It basically
Nintendo,
leveled the playing field for Microsoft, and then, as you said, Microsoft would then go, "Oh, the Xbox can also do this and this and this,"
and
we have
Sony
this
going,
and this
"Hey, let's have motion control with the Move," because everything. But the problem is they have the budget and they had the user base, to make that work for them. And people who are on Nintendo were going, "Hang on a minute, why have we not got this?"
Yeah.
I want to play a dance game where I don't have to tuck a Wii remote in my bra strap and one in my knickers and dance around, because that's the only way it can track me.
Yeah.
I want to do what they're doing. And the Wii U should have done that. It should have used, and not necessarily Kinect technology, but maybe said, actually, if you're going to use the motion stuff, and they got rid of the motion stuff and had the tablet.
Yeah.
Which was using the best of the Wii stuff with the best of the DS stuff.
See, I played Mario Kart 8 on your Wii U, and I used the tablet. I didn't use the TV.
No.
And I liked that. I really genuinely liked that, but it still wasn't... It was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, I have issues with Mario Kart 8 because it's just Mario Kart with the number 8 on the end. It got all these Game of the Year nominations, which are just bullshit, because it's just fucking Mario Kart with a new coat of paint. So, Anyway, but yeah, the novelty was great. And I thought, brilliant. I really like this, but it still wasn't enough to win me over, to make me think I would happily spend £200 for this console. and that's part of the problem here. I loved my N64 when I was younger.
Yeah.
But now, if I had the choice, if you say, I'll give you £200, you can buy a Wii U now, you can wait for the Xbox One to drop in price, I'll be waiting for the Xbox One to drop in price.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said, what Nintendo need to do is they need to get a new console out as quick as possible. It needs to support the Wii U games, but it needs to be a new console, because Nintendo do backwards compatibility.
They do.
The Wii will work on a Wii U. That's beautiful. And if they can make that work in a third generation console, in a way that's fluid and doesn't negate the design.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, the Wii stuff, you have to have sensor bar on top and you have a Wii controller. So you're not playing a Wii U, but having a Wii. You're using the Wii controllers. You're just able to.
You're playing a
use
Wii on the Wii U,
which is fine. That's how emulation should work. It's how backwards compatibility should work. With the NX, part of me really hopes it is like a tablet console.
Yeah.
There is no thing. You could wirelessly stream the image to the thing, but that is everything. Maybe all digital. Get the pricing right and just have it where everything is contained in one user. Maybe have cloud-based gaming, so you don't download anything, you're just playing from a server. Whatever. I don't know. And this is the kind of the exciting bit, is that for the first time in ages, Nintendo aren't predictable. We know they're bringing something out, but we don't know what it is. We know they've just done the new Nintendo 3DS, so likelihood is it's not going to be a new handheld. But the Wii U is having its best sales ever.
Yeah.
And it's got an amazing couple of years of lined up big franchise games. So logic would dictate they're not going to replace that either. So then what is it going to be? Are we going to see it at E3? Are they going to bother pushing out E3? Are they going to do it themselves in Nintendo Directs? I just, because Microsoft haven't got anything like that. They've got games. And the Sony will have games. Maybe their online service.
They've brought the consoles out, and now they need to shift the consoles. And
whereas Nintendo have got that now, that enviable position of having the blank canvas to go, hey everybody, you remember when you used to love Nintendo? Look at this. And then it's just boom. And NX, I mean, Nintendo X. Yeah. It's just, it could be phenomenal. And like I said, I want to see Nintendo back at that point. Now, I did ask on Twitter for people's thoughts on all this whole Nintendo malarkey. We've had a good handful of responses, mostly because I kept asking questions as well, because I wanted people to pin down exactly what they were saying. So let's go back through what have we got. So Suli Spa says Nintendo don't need a big E3; they just wait around all year with the best gaming content ever created on lockdown, which is a pretty fair thing to say. Post McGowan asked if they'd even bother with it, which again, he says he doesn't have a Nintendo except a DS Lite. But he wants a Wii U specifically for Treasure Tracker and Yoshi's Woolly World, which, again, they're stuff that, like I've just mentioned, they're significantly different. Scrap Metal TCG, this is Odd Gamer's account, he said New Zelda, because New Zelda.
See, I love Zelda on the N64, which was Ocarina of Time on 64. But again, I don't know, maybe it's just me.
The New Zelda does look pretty...
It does.
Special. It looks like that jump. From
absolutely. The difficulty comes, I think, probably for me, because obviously we've talked before. We've got budgetary considerations.
Yeah,
it's trading off. What am I trading off the new Zelda against? Well, new Zelda, great, but Fallout 4.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like. And then as soon as you start,
let's propose a thing then. Let's say that Nintendo come out the gate and say they're doing a console that's on an equal par with the Xbox One and the PS4, and they're getting Fallout 4.
Yep.
Would you still? Because I still don't think I'd get it on that new console. I think I'd still get it on my Xbox One. You're at the point where you haven't got one.
Exactly. That's the other thing.
But would that be enough to say? Right, you've now got all of those games that you want, minus platform exclusive. So you're not going to get Destiny. Well, you could get Destiny, maybe. But you're not going to get Gears of War.
Well, Destiny's already on the 4 and the 1, so you don't...
So you're not going to get Halo or Gears of War, say, for example, or Forza. But you can have all those other...
But you can have Zelda.
You could get Mass Effect 4, you can get Fallout 4, but then you've got all that Nintendo platform exclusivity as well.
See if Fallout 4, and then you mentioned Mass Effect 4 as well.
Yeah.
I like the way you did that.
Yeah.
You're playing
I'm playing the cards. Well, this is the thing, because they could possibly happen. That's the point. Yeah. It's not out of the areas.
In that situation that you've just described, yes, I would seriously consider it.
Yeah. And I think that's the key they need to get. Because they've got really strong home IP.
Yeah.
And Watch Dogs had such a juddered launch for the Wii U. Project Cars, I believe, has now completely cancelled the Wii U version. They need those big games on their system.
They do.
And they need to make that system friendly to the developers, because the problem is, when you've got a gimmicky input device, you've either got to make an Xbox One version work, like I did with Batman, where it all had all touchscreen interface for all the Batman gadgets, which it was nice, it was an add-on. Mass Effect 3 for the Wii U felt nice because you could do your commands and stuff on the tablet, which again, for a sci-fi game, that feels
sci-fi
good. Yeah. And if you imagine, like, that was your Pip-Boy. It just, everything about it makes sense to do. But you also need that control. You need that fine control for it to be a proper game. Maybe something like Project Shield, which I don't know if you've seen, which is like control over a big screen here. So you've got it. Sony have done a thing with certain Xperia phones, I believe, that you can slot them on top of a PS4 controller and use that as a second screen.
And there was hints that Microsoft would make more and more of the Smart Glass app for tablets and smartphones. So, the principles are kind of there. But, you're right. It's about not just exclusives.
Yeah.
Because that's always going to be the case for any of the consoles. I'd love to play Uncharted, but I own an Xbox.
Yeah.
So I have to accept I can't play Uncharted.
No.
Or I can't, I won't own Hard Rain.
No.
I'm lucky enough to play a little bit of it.
Or Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain, sorry.
Hard Rain, the
Rain's
Christian Slater film.
Sorry. But, I was lucky enough to play some of it, but I'll never own it because it's pointless, because I haven't got the console to play.
No.
You have to accept that.
Yeah.
And likewise, I'm sure there are PlayStationers who will say, well, actually, I'd kind of like to try Halo, but I can't. I have to live with Killzone.
I've long-term believed that the best thing Nintendo could have done, up until this year, I believe the best thing Nintendo could do was allow their licenses onto those consoles. To have a Zelda game on the Xbox One would have been a huge coup, or even just to play the PlayStation. Because Nintendo and Sony had a relationship once.
Yeah.
That's how the PlayStation exists. If they'd have said, look, you've got the big stranglehold on the Japanese market, Nintendo's name means an awful lot. Let's merge those two together.
Oh, that stirs up thing, because obviously you mentioned the old Sega versus Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, Sega had a big hand in helping Microsoft get the Xbox off the
Exactly.
ground. Oh, imagine that. Oh, what
this is the
a
thing, like,
pitch battle that would be.
If you had Nintendo's IP on us, and now obviously they're doing mobile games, and that's great, and it's a hugely profitable market. But this year, I've started to come away from that a little bit. Like, I'd still love to see it happen. I'd love to see Nintendo partner with someone and bring out not necessarily a new console, but just say, right, the power of this console, plus our amazing library of games, off you go. But now, depending on what this NX is, it could be, like, literally, we've worked with Sega and Atari and Neo Geo people to make the ultimate 90s nostalgia console that's capable of doing everything the 90s and the 2090s. But no, this is it. I've never been so very excited about Nintendo.
Yeah.
Going back to Twitter, that guy's a maniac. That's his Twitter name.
Yep.
It has a very good blog. If you're listening, search Shax, it's very good. Blooper, Inky, and Game Watch hats, and we're in on Splatoon. Nintendo has a rich cephalopod history. Which is very true. Gonzo Soldier has to be Zelda, followed by Firefox. Star Fox.
That's what we did then.
Well, I think it was just a mistake. But a new Star Fox is on the way. That's very exciting as well. It's just, like I said, they've got these amazing games that they just need a platform that gives them justice. The N64 did it, the SNES did it, the NES did it, the DS did it, because there was such a huge sales pitch that they could go, great, that game's out for everyone. We did it, but lost its focus.
Yeah.
Because it was hard to make a game that felt like it stood shoulder to shoulder, so they kind of played
Again,
easy.
it was the gimmickiness. It just felt too gimmicky.
But the Wii U now has kind of toned down the gimmicky a bit while adding that touch device. But that touch device is very in keeping with what we've both got phones that are touch. Yeah. I got the iPad. You got trackpads on laptop. Everything you touch of things. Tactile gaming is a big thing. So I don't really think that as a gimmick. I think that tablet is actually a very sensible move. But I said I just need to get rid of that console bit and.
I'm not even sure it's that as such.
Maybe just have a big screen. I mean, like gaming on the iPad is very popular.
I think depending on the game, I can see a merit to both playing solely on the tablet, but equally on the TV. There's places for it to live side by side. I don't know if I'd scrap the box entirely. And
I've just been too blocked.
And the danger you've got is, I think, if you eliminate the set-top box, you start to get onto strange ground, I think, with how the games work, because you're basically moving then towards just a big handheld.
But that's my point. Like, that's a big handheld right now.
No,
and that's a viable gaming platform now.
It is. I agree.
People, I mean, you look at.
But then, the point I'm probably making very poorly is, what are you then? Like, what is the iPad Mini?
It's a bit existential.
Well,
what are you?
Well, it is, because it's like you're not a console.
No.
But you're not really a handheld, because the Wii U isn't that practical if you're on the bus. If we're honest.
It's not.
What are you?
But then that's the thing. That's what they've got to overcome. What was the DS? You know, it was like
that is a handheld,
clamshell, split screen, touch screen interface.
But that is very much a handheld that is very portable.
Yeah, and so
will literally fit in your pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. But like I say, thank you very much for everybody who got in touch on Twitter. It's very good. If you've got other thoughts, obviously just let us know via email or on Twitter. If you missed the deadline for the big plate, because it did only go out. Well, I did go out a couple of days ago, didn't it, as well? So, right, with that, let's go over to... we're going to now go and watch, rather, Dalek and Mark's Two Blockers.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. So, we're going to watch that. We suggest that while we watch this, we'll play a jingle, but that's an opportunity moment to pause the podcast, go and watch that via the link on the lollercourse.co.uk website. On the top right side, there's a drop-down menu. Yep. You can find it there. There's also a post on the page. Watch it on either of those. It's
probably easy to watch the post on the lollercourse.co.uk.
Well, it's also nice if you go to the actual YouTube page, because there you can subscribe and like it and do whatever people do on YouTube. These kids with their technology. I have no idea. So, yeah, here's a jingle. Go and have a listen.
We are the Holocaust, digesting the news over a period of thousands of years.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
It was.
Dalek had an amazing routine there with pre-order bonuses that he's collected over the years, which we're not going to tell anybody what they are. We're going to have to go on the video and watch it.
Oh, yeah.
But fans of pre-order bonuses that you just won't find anywhere else.
It's true, he has got quite the collection.
He really has. Like, he said he keeps it all in a cupboard. I think that stuff belongs in a museum.
Well,
that's an Indiana Jones line.
I'm too scared to go in his cupboard. So.
Well, either way, get on that, go and have a listen, and come back to us, or go back to them and let them know what you think, because they put the time in. They recorded that apparently on Easter Sunday.
Oh,
so they put down their eggs. Recorded the podcast, and Mark's been slaving away to get it done for today. So thank you very much, guys. That's about it for us this week.
Guess what else has happened while we've been talking?
What?
Deus Ex Mankind Divided has been officially announced.
So there's us on form that we were
on form
on time. Tell you what else we haven't done. East Side Hockey Manager.
We haven't.
We've had some entries.
What's the point of having this fucking running order?
Well, to be fair,
you just ignore it.
To be fair, I've
ran roughshod all over it.
I'm using
moved everything around.
Quite true. I'm using the iPad, and it keeps cutting off the top half of my running order, so I can't actually see it. It's not really an excuse. It is an excuse, obviously. It's not a valid excuse, but it hasn't been on my screen, and it's only when I just looked at yours.
Yep.
And then looked at you, and then looked at that again, and then thought, no, we're missing it. So, what will we do? We were giving away, we had what?
Three codes of East Side Hockey Manager, the Early Access Edition.
Right.
Which is available on Steam at the moment. Basically, we asked people to think of a team name for the new team.
Okay.
Which looks almost guaranteed now to rock up in Las Vegas in a couple of years' time.
Excellent.
The actual official date of their first season is to be confirmed.
Unless they get kicked out like those Manchester players. Hey, Rob?
Wow.
Manchester.
I
was trying to look clever.
Really
I was trying to look clever by knowing something about ice hockey that you mentioned and then couldn't say the word Manchester correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Ruined it because my mind was concentrating so much on what you'd said to think, was there anything else you'd mentioned that would make this sound convincing? And instead, my mind went, are you sure you got all this information right? Look, just say the name where they are. Manchester. Oh, fuck's sake. Ruined it again. So
yes.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, looking likely we'll have a new NHL team in Las Vegas. As we mentioned on last week's episode, teams will have their names. New York Rangers, Boston Bruins, Peterborough the Phantoms. So we asked people to name the new Las Vegas team.
Okay.
Now, you suggested the Las Vegas CS Ice.
Yep.
Which was mildly amusing the first couple of times.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And so, we basically asked people to create the team name.
Okay.
And we said we'd pick the best ones, whether they were the funniest or the most sensible, perhaps, and fitting for a team.
I don't know if one's sensible.
Well,
what we got?
So
you've got the answers.
We've got a
not
couple
the
of
answers.
answers,
We've had the entrance so far.
we've got a couple of mentions here.
Is one of them Postman Gav?
No, he's not delivered.
I did just forward you an application
Did you?
from Postman Gav.
Oh, well, I haven't got it.
Oh, okay. I'll load it up.
Let me reload. Anyway, the first one I've got is from Stephen Ellis.
Okay.
Who I know who writes for the Hockey House. There's a lot of international hockey coverage. It's very good.
So he's coming at this from an informed point of view.
He is, very much so.
Okay.
Because he also works for the Oakville Blades, a team in Canada. So,
Are they an ice hockey team?
yes.
Okay. I didn't know if it's that or Fable related.
No.
Okay.
So, Steve's suggestion, I feel like the Las Vegas Outlaws could have an awesome logo stroke mascot combination.
Right.
And I do think he might be on something there, because Outlaws, you've got a lot of creative opportunities there. He also suggests put together a red and black jersey, and I feel like there'd be some good chances to help build a likeable brand. Now, I quite like that idea. Because the team that was there previously, although it was in a lower division, were called the Las Vegas Wranglers. And they were red and white with black trim, basically. So it ties into kind of Las Vegas' hockey history.
Yeah.
The Outlaws, as Steve said, you can have a play with that there.
Yeah,
There's some creative marketing.
You could even get Danny McBride to do his Eastbound and Down character.
What they could do is sign Andrew Hammond from Ottawa, who is one of the goalies.
The guy who created...
No, he's the
Driving
goalie.
a Donkey?
No. He's one of the goalies who's playing for Ottawa this season. He's done extremely well.
Okay.
And because he's got the Hamburglar from off of McDonald's on his mask, and obviously his name's Hammond,
Right.
so he's become known as the Hamburglar.
Okay.
And it did result in Ottawa Senators fans throwing burgers onto the ice after wins for a short period there.
Sounds unhygienic.
But of course, if you then sign him to be the goalie of the Las Vegas Outlaws, you've got a Hamburglar in goal for the Outlaws.
That would be
It writes itself, really.
It would also be really good if you've got people who have been disqualified from the league for different criminal activities. They're literally all outlaws.
Yeah.
It could be like a dirty team.
It's
Like, and I don't mean that like filthy. I just mean like
Las
because
Vegas, it could go either way.
Well, am I right in thinking there are things called enforcers in ice hockey, and they can be sometimes.
That's basically what Goon was about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they can just be a bit like they're just there to punch somebody in the face. Eventually,
Less prevalent these days because people have realised you actually do hockey with the puck on the stick,
yeah. Well,
not by punching a man in the
but
head.
people go and watch hockey. A lot of people go and watch hockey hoping for someone punching
Maybe.
someone in the head. If as somebody who's not into the sports side of it, like people who only watch Formula One hoping for a crash, I watch any sport hoping that somebody's going to get smacked in the mouth. Not hopefully too badly, because the story behind Goon was not particularly nice. The guy who inspired Liv Schreiber's character wasn't a nice guy. I can't remember his name. You'd probably know it if you bother to watch the film. But I kind of like whenever you watch films like The Mighty Ducks, and there's always that cheating team. I kind of like the idea of Las Vegas just having a dirty, horrible, cheating team that everybody goes boo. They're like the bad guys of hockey. I'd like that, coached by Emilio Estevez.
I'm sure there was a team in Russia in the Continental Hockey League who basically did that. I forget which team it was. They basically just signed a load of fighters. They were absolutely rubbish. They lost so many games.
Yeah.
Finished rock bottom. But they basically just went out to be the dirtiest team they could possibly be without getting kicked out of the league.
Kind of, yeah.
I forget which team it was.
I'd kind of like that
frustrating.
to be what this is. Did you get the other email?
Yes.
You did. Was it from Postman Gav?
I assume so.
Gavin Fisher.
Yes.
His name is.
Yeah.
Just give his name out in the podcast.
Yeah.
Gavin Fisher.
Give out his address.
From off of Ely
Yeah.
or somewhere like that. I can't actually remember where he is.
So he's come with several.
For God's sake.
He's gone for the scattergun approach.
Has he? Is any of them going to hit stick? Let's
Whereas
find out.
Steve's thought this whole thing out with mascots and team colours and how it would link in with
Gav
PR
just wants
marketing.
Gav just wants a free game.
spammed us. So we've got Las Vegas Gambits.
That's...
Copyright infringement.
What an ass. That could be quite good if their their half-time thing was just throwing playing cards at each other.
I don't know if you remember, was it last week or week before, I did show you the Marvel NHL Guardians programme.
You did, yes.
So there is kind of
Which is
history.
fucking
It
awful.
was fucking awful. The NHL seems to have completely forgotten that exists. I haven't. I keep bringing it up every now and again.
Do you know, if I was the NHL, I'd want that to be some sort of sordid night in Las Vegas where something happened and nobody talks about it.
Yep.
It happens. So what else have you got? So the Gambits?
Yep. Las Vegas Sinners.
Oh, yes.
Well, I feel that fits in, yep. Las Vegas Rats.
What?
Yeah, I thought.
Is that like the Boomtown Rats
I think
from Las
it's
Vegas?
Bob Geldof's face, the logo.
Fair enough.
Give us the fucking puck. So yeah,
He obviously ran out of good ideas by the second one. What's his fourth one?
Las Vegas Stratospheres.
What the fuck is he? Is he just randomly opening a dictionary now and going, oh, that's a good word?
I like the last one though. Las Vegas Snake Eyes.
Yeah, that could be quite
I
good.
quite like that one.
Yeah.
So there's potential there.
I'm surprised he didn't say the Blackjacks.
A couple of people
Vegas
did
Blackjacks.
suggest the Black Aces, which ties to an older
Well,
story.
that suggests that it's the first African-American Air Force unit as featured in the film Red Tails. That could be the Black Aces.
Could be. But though it ties to an old hockey story involving a coach called Eddie Shaw.
Okay.
And obviously then you can have the Ace of Spades as the intro, because it writes itself pretty much.
Well, it was written by somebody. It doesn't write itself. The Ace of Spades is a masterpiece of modern music.
Wow.
There's a lot of hard work went into writing that song.
It was.
It wasn't just the word Ace of Spades over and over again for about
I've
4
got an
minutes.
idea. Dun, 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 dun. Just do that a lot.
Like, cut that deck of cards. Yeah, what's... The Ace of Spades! The Ace of... That'd be brilliant if that was like, the Five of Hearts, because it works. Like, what? The Jack of Diamond!
Does actually.
The King of Queens! That's the TV show with Kevin James.
Not very good.
No. But all of those. The rules for bridge! The rules for bridge! Because somebody didn't take them out when I shuffled them. That'd be fucking amazing. If there's an alternate... Because there's a thing. Did I tell you about this? The Mandela effect. Have we talked about this
I don't think I
together?
have.
It's an amazing thing. I heard about it on the Regular Features podcast, and then I read into it even more. So Mandela effect, this is the longest outro I've ever done. And still talk about contests as well. The Mandela effect is basically proof, apparently, that multiple dimensions exist.
Okay.
The reason being, this woman had a conversation with someone, and they were both convinced that Nelson Mandela, at the time of him dying, they were surprised, because as far as they were concerned, he died in prison.
Okay.
They had that memory,
Right.
and nothing else had overridden it until they realised he hadn't. But two people individually had both had this very strong memory.
Okay.
And the idea of the Mandela effect is that people are prone to see into another dimension instead of seen or heard like noises that lead you to think things.
Okay.
But some of the reasons they've got, like some of the encounters they've had, suddenly start to become slightly less... what's the word? Less acceptable under scientific scrutiny. For example, on the website, there's a load of people who clearly remember it being called Sex in the City, not Sex and the City.
Okay.
And because they misremembered it, it must be multiple dimension theory.
Must be. Yeah.
Very,
Science.
very, very strange. But it's well worth looking into for a laugh, if you ever want to just laugh at someone's stupid, ridiculous claims.
I can just see it comes into your shop for that.
Probably. So, we've had some entries. So
We have.
that's 2 people.
Yeah.
So they can't win 3 codes because there's only
Can't.
2 of them. So that means there's still at least, if they were winnable, and I think Gav is dubious. I think is Stephen Ellis, you say?
Yep.
I mean, he's onto a good chance for the fact that he's clearly coming, but he's got the insider advantage.
But he has thought about it. He's got team colours and everything.
Yeah.
I like that.
But we didn't ask for that. That's overplaying it.
Well.
He could lose out because of that. Because I'm going to be the judge of this, not you.
Okay.
Well, your hockey
All right,
affiliation.
Mr. Judge.
Right.
Closing date.
Closing date. By the time we record the show next week.
Okay.
That is then. So that will be, I'm assuming, Tuesday.
Yep.
So Tuesday, the 14th of April, will be the closing date. Just because I want people to get the game as quickly as possible.
Yep.
I think that's the benefit of this, isn't it? That's what we've been getting the codes for, is to give out. I don't think we should prolong it too long.
No.
And then, on the show next week, whatever we've got left, we'll just put them into a bowl.
Yep.
And we won't pick them at random. We'll just put them in a bowl, and I'll look at them in the bowl, and I'll go, that one.
You're not even going to fold them up. You're just going to write the names down in the bowl.
Yeah, just right in the inside of the
Your
bowl.
housemate's going to come over and why have you written a load of names in
It's
one
the
of my
hockey
bowls?
bowl.
The
And
hockey
they'll be
bowl.
like, yeah. And she'll be alright because she plays hockey.
Yeah.
Not ice hockey.
No.
Land hockey?
Field hockey.
Field hockey. That's fair enough. I prefer land hockey. I think they should change it. I'm going to write to the hockey people and tell them to change that to land hockey. Because sea hockey could be a thing.
Good.
I have seen them play it in a swimming pool.
It's water polo.
No, they've got tiny little hockey sticks about 12 inches long,
Right.
and a weighted puck, and they have not scuba,
yeah.
things, and they like knock it along the floor, and they have to get to the
I
other
think
side.
I've seen that on the TV before.
Yeah, that's quite good. Also, did you see on YouTube those Polish people doing tug of war in a canoe?
No.
Oh, this is amazing. They're in like a Canadian canoe.
Yep.
And there's a team on this side of the canoe and a team on that side, and they're all pulling to try, or pushing, as you would be with a canoe, and try and push the other team over the line.
Yeah.
Tug of canoe.
Tug of canoe.
And they do it in like Olympic swimming pool for the look of it, and it's incredible. It's phenomenal. I want to see that as an Olympic sport next year. Not next year, at the next Olympics. Next year.
2016.
Yeah, next year. I was right. Of course I'm right. It's sport. I always know sport. So you've got until April the 14th to get your suggested names and potentially team colours, logo, mascot, opening title music. Not opening title music, entrance music.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have whatever the goalkeeper could have on his face if you want. It could be a stripper's thong or
I don't think that would be very protective.
or a dead man's hand. That's a card thing.
Yes.
And could be a dead man's hand in hockey.
Okay.
As an enforces it too rough, just off goes the hand and the head.
Yeah.
Like that, like thing for the Addams family. And then he just glues it on, keeps that as a little trophy. Remember that time?
This is the last time you watched Scooby-Doo zombie hockey.
So that's the time I try and talk knowledgeably about hockey, I think. When you've learned most of it from the Mighty Ducks,
Yeah, you're in a good place.
you basically you think that Emilio Estevez is the best idea of a coach in existence.
It's pretty decent. There's not many coaches
I've
go into the main
seen-
sponsor's office and start quacking.
I've seen Slapshot and the remake,
I just forget the remake exists.
and I think I might. Did they do a sequel to Slapshot?
They did 2 sequels.
I think I've seen one of the sequels.
They were both awful.
Seen Goon, which is brilliant. I really like that. Mostly because it had Alison Pill in it,
Ah.
off of Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
So yeah, most of what I know about hockey I've learnt from films,
Right.
and also
To start with, you haven't seen Most Valuable Primate, so you don't know nothing, Jack.
all right. I'll make sure I've seen that before next week's show.
No, don't say
No, it sounds like an Air Bud style film, but
Pretty
with
much.
a monkey.
Yeah.
Is it chimpanzee?
Yeah.
That's all right. I could go for a hockey playing chimpanzee.
I'm sure it was a chimpanzee.
Because it could rip someone's arm off and their head and then throw a hand on someone's head. So that could be what happens at the end of that film. And that's why I should be excited about it. But yes, you've got till April the 14th to get your entries in. You can get those in by emailing us at wearetheholocaust@gmail.com. That's all the words. Just we are the Holocaust. All words, no letters. But they're all the letters.
Yeah.
But I can't clarify this enough. Go to the website, there's a button with envelope.
Yep.
Click that envelope. That'll fill it in for you if you're unsure how to spell our
Gmail.
website. Well, and Gmail. Right, let's finish this off. Let's finish this bad boy like I'm going to finish Apple. More changes on the website according to your running order. Is that correct? Or is that just from a previous running order?
You didn't update it.
Okay, so no changes to the website and all the running order, but you can go and visit it.
Yeah.
There are some good articles on there, and there'll be more this week because I've got a whole day off tomorrow, so I've finished Apple and Hardline. I'm going to write a review of Forza Horizon Fast and Furious, comparing the 360 to the Xbox One versions, because I played through both, and there are noticeable differences. So I will talk about that. Rate or review us on iTunes, like us on Stitcher, follow us on Twitter. We are the Holocaust for letter R. You can tweet me at Bouncy Ball with an H after second B.
You can tweet me at Ron McGregor 35.
And you can find Mark at XBLA Silicam or Doug at the Voice of Sex. So that's it. So remember, competition runs out when we record this next week. So it's a week from today, but it will be the 14th of April. So by the time this episode goes out, you'll have about 3 days to make mine. But then you'll have a weekend.
Yeah,
That's the time. If you can't think of anything, ask your wife or girlfriend or carer or teacher or kids. Actually, kids. That'd be funny.
What would you name a hockey team?
But there we go. That's the show. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much, Rob, for coming around again.
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
Well,
It's all very polite and formal, isn't it?
yeah, it is. I like to try and be polite. Yeah. And next week we will announce a winner for our competition.
We will.
So have a good week, and we will see you all on the flip side.
Bye.